Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Missy Cooking on a Budget, and I'm Missy. Excuse me. I'm on today. I'm not going to be cooking. I'm going to have, hopefully, give some advice, some tips that will help people. I have been doing, I've done a few videos, um, a collab with City Girl Homestead, hashtag Struggle Meals. And if you watch my channel, it's Missy Cooking on a Budget. So most of the things that I make are cost efficient. I don't ever have really any high-end meals. And if I buy a piece of meat or anything that's high-end, I'm making it into several meals. But that's part of what I want to say. But anyway, so I did join, and I do have a couple up there. There's a couple of great other people that have joined in and put some great things. And Chris from City Girl, she's been doing it almost every day. She puts up something. But I wanted to come on because first, they started it because people on getting food stamps, weren't getting them for a minute, and but that doesn't matter. We live in a society where prices are high, and a lot of people are struggling. It has nothing to do with what help you receive and what help you do not receive. It's about teaching this generation and the generation even before, because they struggle too, on how to shop and do things efficiently. It's not about, it's about saving money, but it's about learning how not to struggle. Me and my husband live on a fixed income, and it's not really, I don't call it a struggle. Yes, first of all, we live within our means. We don't go out and splurge and do things that are not in our means to do so. So that's tip number one. And I should have wrote this all down, because I knew once I got on, my mind was going to start going crazy with different things. So I'm going to try to slow it down and because I didn't write it down, and say the things that I really want to say. But I wanted to tell you where this is coming from. It's coming from that City Girl Homestead, hashtag Struggle Meals. So one of the first things, if you're having a hard time making ends meet and having the groceries that you think you need in your home, the first thing that you have to do is learn. Learn how to read labels. So in every single grocery store, they have the little orange and white stickers that tell you ounce, pound, what you're getting. Learn those and see what you're actually paying for. Because, something might be, okay, I'll give an example. Something might be, a can of something might be $1.99, but it's only 8 ounces, and you're going to pay $2.19, but the other can might be 10 ounces. So it's not always the price. You got to look at the amount that you're receiving for that. And I know a lot of days, a lot of people will go out and they're fixated on like brand name items. You don't have to. This almost every single product out there has a compatible no name or store brand generic name that's usually made from the same company, so it's comparable to that. And I do say all the time on my videos, you're not saving money if you do buy the generic or store brand and you don't like it. So keep that in mind also. There's certain things that I buy in my household that I will not buy generic or no name because it's not comparable to taste. So there's no money saved there. But there's a lot of things that we do buy that are generic or no name or store brand, because they are, the quality and the taste are the same. So those are two things right there. And definitely learning how to read your labels. Next is, most of us, when we go grocery shopping, we have certain things that we buy either weekly or monthly. That's just the way it is. It's certain things that we eat over and over that are repetitive, or things, spices or condiments that we run out of that we're constantly buying. Excuse me. Learn. All of this is not going to happen overnight. You have to know. And I hope I should have told you guys, get a pen and piece of paper. Is learning the prices at your local grocery stores. Now, where I live, the cheaper grocery store is called Market Basket, or maybe it's called the Mowers now. I always get that confused. It's not all over the United States. It's only in New England. But and I have to go out of town, which is not, I only have to go, maybe 5 miles down the road. It's not like I have to drive a half an hour. But we do go out of town to that store because the town that we live in has more high-end stores. There's 3 grocery stores in the town that I live in, but they're all very expensive. One's Roche Brothers, one's Shaw's Supermarket, and one's Big Y. They are all very expensive. So I go to Market Basket. But I also watch my flyers, and I look online, because sometimes you don't get flyers, and sometimes, this day and age, a lot of people are more computerized. They want to, look things up on the computer. You can look it up, and you see what's on sale at those places, so that you know if it's going to be better than the store that you usually shop at. Sometimes I have to go to several stores when I go shopping because of the sale or the price difference. So shopping is, it's something that you have to put time into. It's not like, oh, I gotta go grocery shopping, I'm just run in and do this. Eventually you'll be able to run in and just grab what, because you'll know. But when you're learning how to do it, it's going to take you time. You might have to, go to 3 or 4 different stores, Now, Market Basket does not have it because their prices are fairly low. But stores like the Big Y, Shaw's, and other ones like that, they have a card. It is free. You do not pay for it. It's not a membership. It's a free card. You sign up at the desk, the front desk there, and they give it to you. And then when you go on, they'll have either that's the price you're going to pay because you have the card. If you don't have a card, you pay a different price, a little bit higher. But then also you can go in and look for digital coupons, and a lot of them have free stuff for the week, or buy one get one free. There's all different things. You have to learn, write those things down that are a good deal. Just because it's on, so you just have to learn how to do that and get those cards. Another thing, just because something's on sale does not mean it's a good deal. Like say if something's on sale at one of the grocery stores here in town, and they make it sound great, like limit, so you can only get so many because no, this is a sale, it's a great deal. Know your prices, because it could be cheaper or that same price at the grocery store that I go to all the time. So it's not a deal. They do and say things to lure you in to the grocery store and to spend your money there. And like I said, sometimes you have to go to several different stores. But the grocery stores, when they put something on sale, they think, oh, we've got them in the store now. And a lot of people do it. They're like, well, I'll just pick this up here. I'll just pick this up here. Don't do it. Get the sale, get the whatever's going on at that store, and get out of there and go back to the store that your prices are going to be cheaper. And I've also said in a couple of my videos to be very, very careful when you're shopping at Dollar Tree. Because first of all, the prices are not all $1.25 now. They're $1.50, $1.75. And if you don't know, if it's not a good deal, like you might be getting, I'm using this as an example, so don't, say, oh, okay, this is how it is. But say if you go in there and you get a spice for $1.75. Well, most of the times at your local grocery store, if you go into the international food section, they have Barilla spices. And even Walmart, I think it's Spice Classic, they're 99 cents. And you're getting, most of the time, you're getting 2.5 ounces, 99 cents for like this size. But you might go into like the Dollar Tree, and it might be now more than $1.25, and maybe you're only getting 2 ounces instead of 2.5 ounces. So you've just paid, you could have bought yourself 1.5 for what you just, because you didn't know the difference. So pay attention to those things, because it's no longer a cheap store just to run into and grab something. There's still some good deals there, but it's not always. So you have to learn and know and pay attention. Another thing is when you do find, this is something that I do, if you're able to, when you find something I don't stress too much about canned goods and that stuff because they usually have a cycle. You learn the cycle of your stores when things go on sale. And usually it's like every 6 weeks. Every store is a little different, but the years I've been shopping, it's usually like a 6-week cycle. And then that same thing will go on sale again. So you don't have to be like, oh, I have to buy 20 cans of corn because they're on sale. No, you want to pick up a few of them, absolutely, but you don't have to go overboard and go nuts. So if you can afford to and you want to, that's a whole nother story also. But to stay within your budget, you pick up a few extra of those, of that, not, go absurd with it. When I do find meat on sale, not too long ago, the pork chops were on sale. I was paying like $1.09, $1.07 for 2 of them. So I picked up 5 or 6 packages, which they went right into the freezer. Am I going to eat them all in that week, that month? No, they're going to stay in there for a little while and spread out. Today, I put in, I think this is the second time I've used it. This might be the last one, I'm not sure. I found a boiled ham on sale several months ago. I got home and it was not frozen yet. I took a good knife, I cut it into 3 pieces, and I froze them individually. So like this morning, I was looking for something else in the freezer. I said, oh, that'll be a quick, nice supper. Just throw in some the ham, boil it with some potatoes, and have vegetable. And I don't have to really stand on, cooking on the stove. And but that saved me money. So anything, if you get like find a pot roast on sale, you're like, oh, that's too much, to feed our family. That's 1, it's leftovers if you cook the whole thing. 2, break it down. Get yourself a good knife and break it down. What's going to be coming up in the next few weeks and right after Christmas is going to be turkey and spiral hams are going to be on sale. If you can, if you have the money, grab them and throw them in your freezer for another time. Cut them up and throw them in your freezer if it's too much. But usually I think when I buy something, all right, so I can't remember exactly how much I paid for that ham, but it was a good price. So it started out getting me 3 meals. I know the first time I made it, I had the ham dinner, and I made Gordon's plate, and I think Ed had some, and then I took it, and I turned the rest of it into scalloped potatoes. I already ate some today. Ed may or may not have this. I will make Gordon up a plate, but then I'm going to turn it into scalloped potatoes. So it's not just those 3 meals. I'm thinking, what else can I make with this? Because there's going to be leftovers from things like that. Things like pork roast, beef roast, hams. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. If you have a turkey, I just showed on my last videos because we had a Friendsgiving that I did. I made the turkey. We all ate. I sent some plates out. The next day, I made one beautiful broth. Usually, I would freeze that, make myself a soup, and freeze it. But we did something different with this time, and all of it went out the house. But I used that meat. I used made the bones. I made a beautiful broth, and it came out a delicious soup. And I still have maybe enough for a couple sandwiches of the white meat. All the rest of the dark meat I stuck in the freezer. The dark meat that was on the bone, some of it, I did not take it off the bone because I will make another stock out of those and make another broth in the next several weeks when it starts getting colder. So, but that's really why I wanted to come on, is that so you guys just have, it's okay to show you how to make a meal, but maybe you don't like the ingredients, maybe you don't know, that you can change things up. You can always change things up, and I think, Chris from, I can't think of it, he's a man, he does food pantry hauls and stuff. I think he put up a video there. He showed things that you can make with products that you do get from the food pantry, and that's always helpful. And then we live in a day and age where I think it's actually an app. You put in what you have in your cupboards or in your freezer or your fridge, and then it'll show you a recipe to make something, and you can put just about anything into your, if you're watching YouTube, you've got a way to access the internet. and you can put anything in, and it'll show you how to do it. Of course, we all would love for you guys to watch our channels and be like, oh, I'm gonna make that and all that. But the reality is that maybe you don't like that. Maybe you don't have them spices and you don't know. So you can, look on different avenues and look up any recipe. A lot of times, I don't do it a lot for my cooking, but I do it a lot for my baking. Is that I'll be like, oh, something will come to mind. I'm like, oh, I want to try that. Let me look up a recipe. So I use all ALL recipes a lot and go in there, and there's several. You're not stuck to one recipe. And then I'll look at it and be like, oh, I can change this a little bit, or this spice I have, I know that's compatible to that spice. Things like that. And you don't have to be, stuck on that one thing. And not all, but quite a few young mothers, they're stuck on the frozen foods, and there's so many things if you just take the time. I understand people have to work, I understand they have busy lives, and it's, that quick and easy thing. Let's get a bag of french fries and let's grab some chicken nuggets, frozen, and there's supper, throw in a vegetable. But, if you can take 1 or 2 days out of the month and making your own homemade chicken nuggets is so simple, and you'll love them. Making your own homemade french fries is amazing. I don't even buy frozen french fries anymore because the taste difference is, and it costs me maybe 89 cents, 79 cents to make us a big batch of french fries, where a bag of french fries now is $2. And the taste difference is amazing. So, but I just want to come on here and kind of hopefully encourage people and let you know that, you really need, if you have any questions, first of all, please write it below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But the main thing is that I want you to know is that if you just take the time and learn how to be prepared when you go grocery shopping, know what you like, what you don't like, how to read the labels, how to know what's on sale and what's not on sale, because they trick you. The grocery stores really do want you to feel like you're getting a good deal, and a lot of times you're not. They'll put, I'm going to give you one more example, like cereal, because cereal is amazingly, stupidly expensive nowadays. They want $5 for a box of cereal. So, they'll go on sale, maybe 2 for $6. I was just looking over there to see if I had one. Because I did, last month, buy one. I bought it for Mike. I had some of it, but basically for Mike. They had the Halloween Fruity Pebbles. And, I do pick up things here and there that I know he'll enjoy. But the box there was enough for 3 servings of cereal in there. That's not going to, you've got 2 kids. They each get a bowl of cereal and you got 1 left, and that's, the box of cereal is gone. So to pay attention to the pricing and the size of those things, because it's not a good deal if it's only going to give you the 1 serving, basically 1 serving per child out of it. It's not a good deal. So, yeah, so I do hope this helps a little bit. And like I said, I should have wrote everything down. It probably would have come out a lot better, but that's okay. If you have any questions or anything, just write it below. And again, I will answer to the best of my ability. I've been grocery shopping this way for over 40 years. And most of the time, I don't leave the store. I'm not too much of an impulse buyer. That's another thing. You really want to go in and kind of stick to your list. And I write a list every single time. I've been doing it since I started shopping. Usually, if I write it down, it's in my brain. Because 97% of the time, that list never makes it to the store with me. I'll write it all out, but it never goes. It's never in my pocketbook when I go to the store. But most of the time, I know it. And now that I'm getting older, yeah, there's sometimes be like, oh, I forgot that. But most of the time, and that's a good thing if you're able to keep to your list, keep to the things that are on sale that week, and the things that you buy all the time when they are on sale, grab an extra one if you can. And that way, you're not spending, you may not need it this week. Again, I'll try to give an example. So, okay, so mayonnaise. Maybe mayonnaise is on sale for $4.99 this week. And it's the brand you use, the kind you like. If you have the extra $4.99, grab that extra one. Or if you say, oh, I've got mayonnaise in the fridge, I don't need it right now. Still try to grab it, because you're going to run out of that one that you might have in the fridge probably in a week or two. And then you're going to be paying the $6.99 again, or $5.99, whatever the price of that mayonnaise is. So it's really important to know those things. And I hear a lot of people say, well, like, no, that's a bother, I don't have time for that, that's, da-da-da-da. The grocery prices are not going to probably get lower. This is going to be a continued process. So just take that little bit of time and teach yourself and learn how to do these things. In the long run, you're going to save money, you're going to be happier, and you're going to get the foods that you know you and your family enjoy having, And learn things, if you have favorite recipes, learn things that you can throw in that are a little bit more cheaper, price compare on those things. And I'm going to tell you one more trick, and I'm going to end it, 'cause it's 21 minutes already, 22. When my kids were little, like I said, we've always, grocery shopping on a budget. I would, at the time I only had my first two kids, and I would, it was nothing ever like extremely expensive. I think that it was always under $4 or $5, but I would ask them what they wanted for the week for a snack. They could pick their own snack out, and that was their specific snack. If they chose to eat that snack in a day or two, that was on them. But that always was like a kind of something special, and they felt good about it. I mean, they were little, they weren't, teenagers and all that, but they were younger, so they got to pick out their snack. That was their snack for the week, and no one else was allowed to touch it, and that just made them feel good, and that showed them, well, if you're going to eat it all in 1 or 2 days, you're not going to have any for the rest of the week. So it gave them a little life lesson there also. So that's also an idea to do with your children, and then you don't feel like they're being deprived. I go into some houses and homes, and you've got 8 or 9 different bags of cookies, chips, this, that. There's so much of snacks where a lot of times it's being thrown away, or they're opening up something. That was another rule. We were never, I never let anybody open up something until the first thing was gone. If we open up a box of cereal, that's the box of cereal we're eating, because it's wasteful. It ends up going out to I throw it out to the birds, but it would be thrown, in the rubbish. And that's just, we don't want to waste what we have. And, yeah, that's it. That's all my tips and tricks for today. And hopefully it was coherent. I love you guys. Jesus loves you more. And please, if you have any questions at all, just write them, and I will answer them and give you my opinion and tips and tricks to make your grocery budget stretch. Alright, see you on my next video.